All right, guys, we got it all in. So what we did again, just as a just to point this out, we had removed this fuel line, the stock fuel line from the car that comes up from the back where the gas tank is, feeds into the engine right in here, and feeds right into the fuel rails itself, which sends this fuel into the injectors on bank 1 and 2. So we removed this. We're using the flex fuel lines that come from there and then connect into the fuel rail. But the reason why you got to disconnect that and put their fuel lines in is because you need this inline ethanol sensor. Plugs into that part of the fuel line and then that part of the fuel line. And that's sensing how much alcohol in the fuel is going through the fuel, and that's going to feed this app that I'll show you guys in a minute. The other thing you got to do is you got to run this module. If you guys can see the module there, I installed it underneath the strut tower brace. You got to install the module, and then you got to run these lines into each fuel injector driver module, if you will, which is really what's coming from the computer, pulling an air to fuel ratio in the car, and it's sending the right amounts of pulse width through the injectors. And you've got to plug this harness in. You got to unplug the injector, plug one part of the harness into the injector and the other part right into one part of the harness into the fuel injector driver module, and then the other part right into the fuel injector itself. And then that way, this commander, first of all, the alcohol is sensed through the inline fuel sensor. It's that data is being fed to the commander that's right underneath here that I installed. And then that commander is sending the signal of how much air to fuel this is going to need per injector. And it's making it a flex fuel E85 setup or 93 octane. So you can jump back and forth from flex fuel to E85.